Hey guys, Mr. Flanders here, and we are on our last day of science this week, day 5. We have made it. But before we can call it a day, we've got to talk a little bit about science, okay? And today, we're going to talk a little bit more about birds, like we did earlier this week. Now, when I say the word web, do you automatically think bird? No, you probably thought Spider-Man, or a spider, or something like that. And that's absolutely fine. But did you know there are actually birds out in the world that have webbed feet? Now, when you think web, you probably think sticky, okay? That, maybe trapped even. But webbed does kind of just mean stuck together. So join me in just a second as we take a look at some birds that have webbed feet and what the webbed feet do. See you in just a second. Alright everybody, let's go ahead and dive into the lesson. So we're talking about things that are webbed, and we're going to be looking at birds that have webbed feet. Okay, you'll see here we've got a picture of a duck, a sparrow, and a penguin. Alright, and each one has different types of feet. And we'll talk about more of these guys in just a second though, but first make sure you're putting your name at the top of the paper and make sure that you are writing the date. The date is 9/4/20. That is September the 4th, 2020. Okay? All right, go ahead and take a second to get that done. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to read this little section of the paper right here. And then we are going to answer these questions down here. And we're also going to do a little bit of writing too. Ooh. All right. Let me go ahead and read this section for you guys before we get too ahead of ourselves. Birds that swim a lot have special feet. Their feet are webbed. This means their toes are connected. And if you look here, here's a picture of webbed feet. Okay? And this is a picture of feet that are not webbed. So generally you're only going to find feet that are webbed like this on birds that swim because it helps them move better in the water. They can pedal fast with them. They can use them kind of to like scoop themselves through the water. Think of it as like basically having spoon feet. Okay, if you use a spoon to get like soup or stew or something like that, it holds that stuff in. Well, that's basically what these things do. They can use the feet kind of as a spoon to scoop in the water and make themselves move better and move faster. All right? All right. So we've got our 3 birds here. We've got a duck, a sparrow, and a penguin. We have to decide if they have webbed feet or not webbed feet. If they have webbed feet, we're going to put an X in the box that they are under. If they do not have webbed feet, we're going to put an X in those boxes. So our first animal here is a duck. Think about where you see a duck. And even look at this picture right now. We can see his feet. And his feet, they're webbed. Okay? So not only can we see that this duck is webbed, but think about the places you might see a duck. Often you'll see a duck hanging out by a pond or a lake or a river or a stream, and they're either, kind of waddling around the ground, but normally you just see them floating in the water or swimming through the water with their feet. Okay, their webbed feet help push them through the water. So our duck friend here has webbed feet. We're going to put an X right there. Okay? Okay. The next bird is a sparrow. And it might be a little hard to see right here, but if you see the sparrow doesn't have webbed feet. And think about where you might see a sparrow. You might see a sparrow hanging out on a tree in your backyard. You might see a sparrow hanging out on a fence, maybe even walking across the street. And if you look at these feet right here, they kind of match his feet, and these are really good for walking and for holding onto branches and things, but they're not really good for swimming. So our sparrow friend here is going to have no webbed feet. Okay, not webbed feet. We're going to give him an X right there. All right, now let's talk about Mr. Penguin here. Okay, Mr. Penguin here, we can see really well right here his feet. And we can see that his feet are webbed. Now the penguin is a really, really cool bird, but most penguins can't fly. They might have wings, but they act more like arms than actual ways for them to fly. But their feet are the really cool part about them because they help them swim. Okay, penguins love to swim. So since we can see his webbed feet here, and we know that we would usually see him around water, we're going to put an X in the webbed feet box. Okay? Okay. And remember, this is not like Spider-Man or a spider where, you know, there's like webbing together like you know, a little strand of white stuff. No, this is how their bodies are formed. This is actual skin right here that causes the webbing. It keeps the toes joined together so they can move better and move faster through the water. Okay? Okay. Let's go ahead and look at question 1, our only major question for this worksheet. And the question says, why might birds that swim a lot have webbed feet? Okay, and I've said this a few times already. Webbed feet helps them move better through water. And that's exactly what we're going to write. Webbed, webbed feet help them move better through water. Okay. Why might birds that swim a lot have webbed feet? Webbed feet help them move better through water. Boom. Go ahead and take a couple of seconds to copy that down. If you need to pause the video so you can see the sentence without me rushing you, that is completely okay. I don't want you to feel rushed. I want you to feel like you are accomplished and finished with your work. Okay? So go ahead and take your time. Pause the video if you need. There's no rush. Just remember, the penguin, the duck, you know, they have webbed feet because you normally find them in water. They're hanging out in water. They're catching fish and things like that. Those are the types of animals, or the types of birds that would have webbed feet, the ones that really like to hang out in large bodies of water. And they have the webbed feet because it helps them move better through the water. Okay? If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about ducks, penguins, or webbed feet, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get going. I want you guys to enjoy your weekend. Stay safe out there. Remember, there is no school on Monday, so I will catch up with you all on Tuesday. Bye, guys.